Thinking about playing the original Resident Evil 2 and seeing what all the fuss was about? Or just revisiting a classic that you played decades ago? Then hey, good for you. Good luck with that. Oh, what's that? You died 5 times on the opening? Looks like I'm gonna have to give you a hand. Basically, this video is for tips specific to Resident Evil 2, and I'm not going to retread ground on the tips in the last video. So if you're new to old school Resident Evil, then I highly recommend checking out that video. Anyway, let's get into it. Tip number 1, gotta go fast. So if you're legitimately getting stuck on the opening, then I'm going to guess that you're being too cautious and not moving fast enough. All the zombies' initial positions are generously spaced out, so with a bit of zigzagging, you can dodge all of them with ease. But if you stand around or don't move quickly enough, the zombies will bunch up and become close to impassable. So you gotta go fast.
You're too slow!
Tip number 2, rob Kendo. Steal Kendo's 2 boxes of handgun bullets in a store if you need them. You can also steal his shotgun or bowgun off of his corpse while he gets eaten by zombies. You don't really need to take his weapon, but hey, you can if you want to. Oh, don't feel bad for stealing from Kendo. The guy thinks a glass pane will stop a pack of zombies.
Hold on.
Yeah, that's it. That'll keep him out. How did you not get robbed before? Tip number 3, click here for free bullets. When you get the weapon upgrade parts as Leon, don't upgrade your weapon till the gun is empty. When you upgrade, it gives you a full magazine, which is a little helpful for something like the pistol, but quite dramatic for a gun like the Magnum. A little warning though, these upgrades increase your firepower, but in the case of the shotgun and Magnum, they also reduce your fire rate. So in the case of bosses, you could potentially be dealing less damage and putting yourself in more compromising situations while the gun is recoiling. Tip number 4, crowd control. You'll face a lot of bunched up enemies in Resident Evil 2, and the safest and least wasteful weapons to use are the ones made for dealing with multiple enemies. Leon's shotgun is fairly straightforward and will work even at longer distances. Claire's weapons are a little trickier. The bowgun is fairly focused in close distances but will widen its field dramatically the further back you are. Where you position yourself is key to getting the most out of what you need in the given situation. So a quick tangent on the grenade launcher. It has 2 types of firing depending on what rounds you have loaded. Acid and flame rounds fire directly ahead, so just point it at what you want dead. The grenade rounds, however, work entirely differently. They fire a spread of grenades that will arc down to the ground after a short distance. It's these grenade rounds that are good at crowd control, since they essentially work like a shorter range, more powerful shotgun. Tip number 5, Liqueurs can't see shit. Liqueurs are blind and won't aggro till you run, shoot, or you're in hugging distance from them. They're an enemy that you should try to avoid whenever you can, since fighting them will cause you to throw away a lot of ammo and health when you can pretty easily avoid them. If you see them get into that weird meerkat pose of theirs, that means you've alerted them. If they get alerted like that while they're at a distance, then just wait till they chill out. But if they do that pose while you're close to them, then that's probably your cue to bolt. Tip number 6, I didn't listen to your advice and now Liqueurs are trying to kill me. Liqueurs are a little tricky to take out since they're so low to the ground. As Leon, a good idea is to alert them so they go into their meerkat stance, where you can ping them from a distance with the Magnum. If you're worried about wasting Magnum ammo on common enemies, then don't even. You should have more than enough for Liqueurs and bosses. If you encounter groups of Liqueurs, the shotgun is a much better choice. With Claire, the grenade rounds are a fairly solid choice because of their arc. You won't need to aim down when Liqueurs get close, and they're perfectly good at dealing with multiple Liqueurs. Tip number 7, scenarios are linked. Okay, this is a little complicated, so bear with me. So the A scenario in Resident Evil 2 has a few options that will change stuff in the B scenario. It's just little stuff, so if you miss some things, then it's not a big deal. This SMG and side pack, whichever one you take means that the other character won't be able to get it. If you want to give both to one character, then that's totally doable too. Okay, this cord works a little weird. Basically, in the A scenario, you can use it to stop zombies from coming into one of 2 rooms, but whatever room you use it in ensures that in the B scenario, zombies will come through that one. Confusing, but that's how it works, so plan accordingly. There's a couple other important ones that might require some spoilers, so I won't show them, but I'll say, you need to register both Claire and Leon's handprints to get into a certain door, and if something asks you about releasing BOW gas, then don't, because you'll just be creating a pain in the ass for yourself in the B scenario. That's it for Resident Evil 2. Again, if you're new to old school Resident Evil, then I highly recommend my first tips video, which goes through a lot of the really important basic stuff that you need to know for the classic series, including this game. And hey, if you pretend I'm not talking about Resident Evil, it actually has a lot of good life advice in there too. Except the part where I talk about enemies having invincibility frames. I don't think that's true in the real world.